we look at a case that shook every resident of Moses Lake and became one of the most disturbing incidents in the country. It was a routine fishing day for a bunch of kids when they spotted a rotten body floating toward them in a nearby reservoir. In a state of panic, they immediately informed the police, who rushed to the site in the hopes of identifying the body as Yanira's, a 30-year-old mom of 3 toddlers who had gone missing 2 months ago, on the night of her birthday. Viewer discretion is advised, as this case contains details about the unholy act committed in the late hours of March 3rd, 2022. The video you're about to see is from the morning of March 4th, when Yanira didn't make it to work, and her family requested a welfare check on her.
Police department, we know you're in there. Open the door. Unit 1205, we know you're in there. Police department, come to the door. Do it now. Are you here?
My sister.
Okay. Did you hear yelling?
No. We're called that she...
Police department, you need to come to the door. Do it now. We know you're in there. So that man heard yelling. Is that correct?
I heard yelling. I don't know who the manager is or where she is,
okay.
But you got a in-progress TV while we were here.
What you're telling me is your sister
How does she know?
typically comes to work, has not came to work.
No.
We don't know if there's yelling coming from here, but you're concerned about it.
Yes.
Okay. But you didn't hear any yelling or anyone. We don't know what's going on.
Mom's the one that called, I guess, said there was a DV.
Can you guys try calling her? Give her.
The phone is off. The phone's off.
And when's the last time you talked to her?
Last night, she passed by my house, say bye to her kids.
Was there any issues last night, or she say of any issues?
She said, I gotta go because I gotta go to work tomorrow morning. I love you, babies. And then she left.
Everybody okay? She's not there. Yeah, no signs of any foul play or anything like that. But she's not there. And this is her car?
No, that's mine. Hers is the white one.
Okay.
Honda.
That's weird. Your sister's. Yeah.
She's reported it a lot of times because when she ended the relationship, he got very violent. So she went through Debbie to put the protection order and stuff. And he's just been coming around, calling her and nonstop.
Okay.
What was the boyfriend's name again?
Johnny Trujillo, also known as Juan Gastelum, was the only person who knew what had happened the night before. He was Yanira's ex-boyfriend, and they had been in an on-and-off relationship for 2 years. The man had assaulted her multiple times, and every neighbor knew about the consistent domestic violence that took place when they lived together. He was the one who had picked her up after her birthday party. After that, she was never seen again.
What's going on?
Found her?
No.
I have been trying to call her. I've been trying to reach her. I don't know where she's at. She just left me.
What left you?
She left me at Papa's at the bar.
What happened last night?
It's just nothing. But she left. She said she was going to the bathroom. I think she's with her ex-boyfriend.
What's his name? Is that Juan?
Yes, Johnny.
Johnny or Juan?
Well, his legal name is Juan, I think, but he goes by Johnny. But she came with me.
Where does he usually stay at?
I'm not sure who.
Do you know if she has her phone?
She did have her phone, yeah, because she was talking to him on the phone when she left. And she was like, hey, I'll be back. I'm going to go to the restroom. And so I sat there. I wasn't going to leave without her, and she never came back. She had on a sweat suit, like a gray sweats and a gray sweater. It's all gray, and they're sweats, and she had kind of like a ponytail. I don't like him.
Why don't you like him?
Because he's done a whole bunch of stuff to her.
Could you elaborate? So I understand there's domestic. I just want to hear it from you.
She's called the cops multiple times.
Okay.
I told her she changed her number just barely a week ago, and to avoid him. And she said that he found her number at his apartment.
What kind of stuff would she tell you that he does?
He would push her. He would hold her really strong. She texts me. She tells me, "Hey, I'm gonna leave" or something.
How drunk was she last night when she left?
Not much, to be honest.
Just a little tipsy, maybe?
Yeah, just tipsy, but
still cognitive.
Yeah, she knew what she was doing because she told me, she's like, hey, I'll be back. I'm gonna go to the restroom. And I was like, oh, okay. After that, I went to the restroom. I was like, she's taking a while. And so I went to the restroom. I went outside. Couldn't find her.
Anna had injuries on her face because she had run after Yanira to stop her from meeting Johnny and had fallen. She was Yanira's best friend and the one who had picked her up for her birthday party. The weirdest thing was that Yanira used to share everything with Anna, but somehow after being picked up by Johnny, she didn't text her even once. Johnny had now become the prime suspect in the case and wasn't answering any calls until the next day, when surprisingly, He called the police himself.
Corporal Flato, Police Department, to show our contact being recorded. Can you take your hands out of your pockets for me just for a second? I'm here because Police Department. Okay, they called me. They said that, how do you say her name, Ernie? Yanira, okay. Do you have any idea where she's at?
Not at all, man. That's what I was trying to call to figure out. I just barely found out that she's missing.
Okay. You weren't up there at all?
I went up there, but the thing is, she was crying because she got in a fight with her friend, Anna or whatever, and she was hysterical, saying that she wanted to drive, and her friend was saying no because they're all
okay.
And then they got into it, and her friend told her or whatever to her. She said, "F you and a friend," and all that. And she was crying. She was hysterical. I was trying to get her to go home. She didn't want to. She said she wanted to go see Anna because she said that nobody was there for her. She was all by herself, and that how could she do that? She was just hysterical, crying. So I tried to get her to go home. She didn't want to, and then she said that she was going back to Papa's where they were drinking and stuff. And then some guy was calling her during that on Snapchat, and then she said that she was just going to go back over there. And I've been trying to contact her all morning, messages, calling, and nothing was. I thought she had me blocked, so I was like, all right, because she told me to leave her alone, and she didn't want nothing to do with me because she said we're done and all that stuff.
So if people are saying that she left with you,
she didn't leave with me,
and that you went and got her, that's not true.
No. I'm saying I went to go look for her, but she didn't go home with me. She ended up leaving back to wherever the she was go to.
Okay.
And that was it. That's what I'm saying. I'm calling because I'm trying to.
Is this your car?
Yes, my car.
Okay. And would you be willing to let us walk through, make sure she's not in the house?
Yeah. She's not in there.
I'm just asking if you'd let us look.
Yeah.
Right now it's a missing person investigation. We're just trying to double check.
Yeah.
Are you okay with that? I mean, I just want to. Okay, go ahead. If you want to. You'll notice she's dark hair, pretty girl.
Yanira's missing.
What's missing?
Yanira's missing. And then I just want to know if she's here or anything, you know?
Do you have any idea where she's at?
No, I don't know, dude. She's fucking psycho, dude.
Psycho?
Yeah, and I mean, obviously they're both fucking crazy, but she even messaged me one time like, I'm with the new guy, so Johnny, I'm forgetting about him. And she sent videos of her with some new guy and shit. And he was just telling me because my mother-in-law called and was like, because he's my brother-in-law. Yeah. He was like, she's missing and shit. Like, they just called my phone, because she knows the mom and shit. Yeah. And she was like, you better not be involved and shit.
What was her name?
Yanira.
Do you mind if I look at your car?
Go ahead, man. She was really upset about her friend Anna because she said that nobody.
Did she go with you anywhere?
Well, I took her back to her house, but she didn't want to go back to her house.
Well.
And then she ended up saying that she was going to get it because she had her keys, and she said she was going to drive to Papa's. I said, just go inside. Okay. And when she was going to go inside, that's the last time I saw her. And
would you be willing to open the trunk for me?
Yep.
Okay.
No, honestly.
I appreciate it, man. We're just, we're getting weird reports,
Dude, I'm worried because that's my ex, and I still care about, I still love her, dude. And
right.
She told me that she was sober enough to drive her friend's car, and her friend said, no, we're all fucked up, and I don't know what altercation they got into where Anna ended up calling her you or something like that. Then she told me, she said, well, you ain't a friend, and she left her. That's what she told me, that Anna left her. When I contacted Anna today, she said that she never left her, she went back to Papa's. But you never saw her drive off, or whatever that's what she was telling me. And she was drunk as hell, dude.
Okay.
And then after that, like I said, I was trying to get her to go home, and I told her, go inside. She goes, I have my keys, that bitch, I'm gonna go tell her what's up. She wanted to go fight her, and I told her, no, just go home.
To your knowledge at all, was she in Hermiston?
Not at all, man. Not at all.
She wasn't in Hermiston at all?
I didn't, nope.
Okay.
The reason the officer asked him if he knew Yanira was in Hermiston was because when officers called her number, someone picked up. The police hung up, saying they had dialed the wrong number to avoid alerting the potential suspect. Once the number was tracked, it was found to be close to Hermiston, where Johnny lived with his sister and brother-in-law. Meanwhile, in the hopes of finding Yanira, her family had started searching for her on their own, unaware of the sick things that had been done to her.
Lonnie Abundis will never forget the last conversation she had with her sister, a message over Snapchat.
Telling her happy birthday and I loved her and couldn't wait to celebrate together. I try to prepare myself every day that I wake up. I say, okay, today could be the day.
Yanira's mom has been searching every day.
She's driving to an appointment. She has a couple minutes. She'll pull over and she's like, wait, this looks like I need to stop here. I mean, she is constantly looking. When she sends the kids off to school, The first thing she does after that is get in the car and she's driving around.
Yanira's 3 young kids are struggling to accept that their mom won't be there anymore to kiss them goodnight.
Instead of being honest, Johnny continued to change his statements whenever the police contacted him. Not only had he been at Yanira's house until 6 a.m., he had also raped her in an unimaginable way, something the officers would discover after checking his phone's photo gallery.
You know what was going on until my mom called me and she says, hey, she goes, call me real quick. I'm like, all right. So I called her and she told me that what was going down, that Yanira's missing, and the way my mom said it, she said everybody's pinging on me. I was like, what? So then that's why I got up and went through her friend's account, Anna, the one that she was with last night. And I got a hold of her and I told her, hey, and I don't think she knew who she was talking to at first, but then she ended up telling me that, hey, you need to call the cops. So I'm like, all right, so give me the number then. And I did, you know, because at first I was trying to call you guys through a different number until she gave me the actual number, and then that's when I got a hold of whoever got a hold of. She called me crying, saying that Anna left her if I can get her, because she supposedly that Anna had ditched her because they were arguing about who was going to drive the car, and Anna said supposedly that they were all fucked up and that she wasn't going to let Yanira drive. And Yanira said that she was sober enough to drive. She said that because Anna betrayed her. What kind of a fucking friend is that? That she left her, that she would never do that. She goes, and then she kept saying that she spent $80 on her birthday, that Yanira spent $80 on Anna's birthday when it was her birthday, but Anna only spent $40 on her birthday. She said, what kind of a friend is that? And so she was just going off the whole time, and then she was hugging me. She told me that she's glad that I came, that that she had been wanting to see me, and Anna probably thought I was fighting with her when I was on the phone when I kept trying to blow her up, because every time I'd call, Yanira would hang up on me.
Okay.
But I kept telling, didn't Anna leave to her house?
Okay.
And she goes, yeah, but I want to see if she's there. So she was trying to go back. I wasn't letting her try to get back in her car, because she had her keys with her, and she kept saying something that she had dropped her debit card or something like that. And then she was going off on me, saying that if I want to leave too, like everybody else, then I can leave too. And I was just trying to calm her down. And then I think that's the time when some guy was calling her on Snapchat to see where she was at, and she hung up on him. And then because she was saying that she could be pregnant, and if she was pregnant.
How long did you think you stayed at her place, roughly?
An hour probably. I ended up leaving.
Okay. Why didn't you spend the night? If she wanted, it sounded like she wanted you to stay there, or at least comfort her or be with her.
She was also getting mad at me, and I was gonna stay the night, but she told me she had to work and that she had to pick up her kids, you know. So that's what I was like, okay then, so I'll just leave then. And I ended up leaving because of that.
According to police reports, after their dinner at El Agave, Yanira, along with Ana and a bunch of friends, went to Papa's Casino, where they had more drinks on the night of March 3rd. All the while, Yanira kept getting calls from Johnny, which she continued to hang up. Johnny used to do this even when he was with other girls, and later at the casino, she and Ana went into the washroom, and Yanira handed her phone to Ana so she could talk to him. That's when Ana told him that Yanira had no feelings for him, which upset Yanira and made her want to leave.
She was in the living room when I was leaving.
Okay.
She still had her clothes on, everything. She was just still like, even when she was done crying, she was still pissed off about the whole Anna thing, you know? I drove back and I was like, I just want to make sure she didn't dip out, you know? And when I did, her car was still there.
What time did you make it home to Hermiston?
Early in the morning. Only takes about like an hour and 40 to get back to my place.
What did you do all day today then?
Literally at my sister's house. I was sleeping. Even my sister can tell you I was literally just laying down. We moved in. We rushed it all too fast. And we fought a lot. And she was, I had cheated on her. But we were still kind of like, we were broken up, but we were still, still doing us. Like, where me and her were still hanging out. We were still, going out. Kind of like if we were still together, just without the title.
Okay.
And then obviously there were some altercations with us where, we fought and I ended up hitting her, stuff like that. She wanted to have a baby with me. Like there was those times where she would stop talking to me and then we won't talk for like a week, couple weeks, or a month or something, and then she'll call me crying, missing me, telling me that, she needed me, and then I'll tell her, then I'll get all gushy too, and I'll tell her, I missed her and everything like that, and then...
What did you say during that phone call?
Oh, I said, hey, who's that? To Yanira, because at first I thought it was some guy calling her like that, but then she told me that it was a mechanic dude. But the guy all he said was, hey, are you with Anna, or something like that? That's what he said.
I think you're being honest about what you said over the phone call. I think you might have said some more stuff.
No, I literally said, hey, who's this?
Because I have that phone call recorded, and I want to know what you said. Because if there was no one else on the phone call, I can clearly hear someone, a male, kind of sounds like you saying something else in the background.
No, but I don't remember Mac them telling it. It was like, I just remember this is her man, but I don't.
You don't remember saying something like, hey, you better not be talking to other guys. Why is that a guy on the phone? Nothing like that?
Oh, then yeah, that was probably me then.
Yeah.
I mean, that was me.
Yeah. If you don't like her talking to other guys, then say that. Be honest about it and be upfront about it and say, I didn't like when she spoke to other guys.
No, yeah. That's why I told her yesterday, just don't flirt with guys. Don't talk to guys when I was calling her yesterday. Like I said, just don't flirt with guys. Like, you know what I mean? Obviously, she knows that. Same with her. She gets hella jealous when I talk to girls. So, yeah, obviously, man, I'm a jealous guy. But after that phone call, she was crying about the whole Anna thing. She goes, I drive a new car than that piece of car. Why wouldn't she let me drive? I was more sober than her. I am worried too, man. Sure. Like I said, I'll give you guys anything. I'll talk to you guys, whatever the hell.
Definitely.
And I'm just,
okay.
And
if you hear anything about Yanira's whereabouts, please give us a call back so we can go find out and make sure she's okay.
In the security camera footage from March 4th, Johnny was seen leaving Yanira's house around 6:40 in the morning and dumping several bags in a gas station trash can on his way back home. These bags were recovered by the police and were found to contain large kitchen knives and hunting knives. Cadaver dogs confirmed that the knives had human blood on them, but Johnny hadn't mentioned anything about staying at her house that late until he was called in for another interview.
If you don't mind, I'll take your phone. I'm gonna hand it to Detective Paul. It's gonna stay right here. It's not gonna do anything.
We would like to get a DNA sample of you by doing a swab just of your mouth, if you consent to that.
Yeah.
Did you go to Papa's Casino?
No. I went straight to where I said yesterday, where she was walking at, like behind, like so Petco Ross right here. She was like behind Petco on the side.
Okay.
And then we went back to her house. She opened up the door and everything like that. We were walking over there. We were hugging while we were walking over there, holding hands and stuff like that. And then she kept telling me, I can't believe you came to see me, like stuff like she was pretty happy. And we went to her apartment and then she started crying again. We were kissing, she was crying, she was hugging me, told me she was glad I was there, but then she was still sad about the whole Anna, just going off on Anna, saying like she's a fucking bitch. And then we went to go lay down, and I'm not gonna lie, we did have sex.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that, that was one of my questions.
We did have sex, because she got like, we got to the point where she was crying, she was talking about how she missed me.
You guys did have sex?
Yes.
Go from there, what happened after that?
Told me, no, because you don't care about me, this and that. I was like, whoa. I was like, where did this come from? Like, I was like, we just literally were just laying down being good. And I remember I was trying to calm her down, and I hugged her, and she was hugging me, but she was still going off about Anna, and then about her debit card too, that she wanted to go back. And I was like, no, just call Papa's and get, your debit card, or if you want, I can take you right now. And she kept saying that she didn't want me to take her. And then she goes, no, she goes, I could be pregnant. And she goes, what would you do if I was pregnant? I was like, well then, what would you want to do? I was like, and she goes, I only want it if you'd be in my life. I was like, because we would talk about trying to have a baby. Like, she wouldn't even say that too. Like, she would want one. And then we'd come to her conclusion, we're like, no, we don't want one.
If she was pregnant, would it be yours? Or would there be any reason to be someone else's?
Nah, I don't think she was that cold like that. She was a good person. Like, I wouldn't say like something like that,
Officers immediately noticed Johnny referring to Yanira as someone who was, not as someone who is.
Even if I had sex with other people, you had sex with other people, I know that at the end of the day, we always came back running to each other. And then I was just trying to calm her down. I said, okay, you're right. I know I'm a piece of shit. I've done the worst to you, everything like that. But I've always loved you. I always cared for you. I was like, if you told me right now you don't want nothing to do with me, then I'll leave you alone. And I hugged her, everything like that. I kissed her. Then when I got in my car, I walked downstairs, go to my car. I stayed in the area a little bit, make sure she wasn't going anywhere, because she was pretty adamant about trying to go back. Obviously, I am a jealous guy, but pretty much any guy is too,
Yeah.
If you're talking to me, and then you're talking to other guys, like, obviously that's gonna that's gonna hurt.
It's gonna strike a nerve with me. So I know we've been talking a lot about what happened that night and what occurred. What do you think?
At first, it came to my mind about her baby daddy when he threatened to kill her kids, and I've called plenty of times that day. I don't know, but I always delete my messages and call logs and stuff like that. So that's why I don't care if you guys go through the phone. But it's not just because of her. I just have that habit of. Because I used to always tell her I had that bad habit of when I cheat on girls, when I used to cheat on girls and stuff, I just had that bad habit of deleting everything. There was this guy named Johnny she would talk about that lives in Wenatchee, but I was like, she said that that they were gonna hang out, have a date one time. This was like before Valentine's Day, and I told her, no, that you're not seeing nobody, you're my woman. Well, I admitted to Yanira, I'm like, I'm sorry, because I took whatever my baby mama did to me, she cheated on me. before she passed. We went together, and she passed to her.
Johnny's lies didn't hold for long because when the officers extracted the pictures from his phone, the unmeasurably disturbing truth about that night was revealed. After arriving at her apartment, Johnny was seen having sex with Yanira in the photos, but she had already been murdered by that time. In the police reports, officers described numerous photos taken by Johnny raping Yanira's dead body for hours, often performing oral sex as well. This horrifying revelation prompted officers to conduct a thorough search of Johnny's house as well as his car. Meanwhile, Yanira's body had not yet been found, and her family, along with the officers, were conducting searches every day. Later, Anna recovered from her injuries and gave an interview to the police about the incident.
I guess I was kind of that more overprotective friend. You know, if something was getting a little bit of hand, I would kind of be like, oh, you know, let's go. Or, you know, I definitely never talked to this guy, really. I think I only hung out with him once when we lived at 300 East 9th. That's where I met him, and then after that, I never hung out with him again. I never spoke to him. 4 or 5 months, I think.
Okay.
4 or 5 months they lived together.
Pick her up, you guys go to dinner. Was that the only thing on the agenda, or what else?
So that's the only thing we were planning to do. And a friend, Martin, he joined us there. They suggested, oh, you know, do you guys want to go to Papa's, or do you guys want to meet us there? And so I asked her, like, you know, you want to go, or do you just want to go home? And she said, no, let's go. I'm down to go. And I was like, okay, yeah, me too. I'll go, you know, for a little bit. But on the way, from the drive to Moses Lake to Ephrata, she was on the phone with Johnny.
Oh, really?
She lies to me sometimes because she knows I don't like him. So she hides, sometimes when she talks to him, she'll tell me, oh, you know, he's just bothering me, like always he's bothering me. And then we went to the restroom, and then she was talking on the phone with him. And so she gave me the phone, and I was like, hello? And he was like, hey, what's going on? I was like, why are you calling her right now? Like, why are you bothering her? She's with me. Like, what do you think we're gonna do? And then he was like, and then I was getting irritated, and I was like, why are you going to come? Because he kept saying that she had told me that he was in Arizona. And so I told him, I was like, aren't you in Arizona? Like, why would you even, you know, care or bother to know where she's at? And he was like, I bought an expensive flight back just to come pick her up because I want to spend time with her because it's her birthday. And I kept asking him, why? Why do you care? Why are you going to come down? She took the phone back, and so I stepped out, and she walked out of the bathroom. I don't know if at that point she was mad at me because I did tell him, you know, ask him why he was coming. She doesn't care about you, is what I told him, and that I think made him really upset. After that, me and her didn't really talk. I remember walking out with her, and someone else was helping me as well. I just remember walking out into the parking lot. But then after that, I don't really recall much after that. She told me that he had mentioned a couple of times, actually a lot of times, that he didn't like me, that he doesn't like us hanging out, that he even thought at one point that me and her had like a sexual relationship. I mean, of course, she was my friend, and I saw everything he did, so I told him multiple times, you know, I don't like him, I don't know why you keep talking to him, texting him, whatever.
Right. When you spoke with him, what did he tell you? What was he saying to you?
He sounded upset because I kept, you know, repeating to him, why are you going to come down here? Why are you going to come? Why are you going to come? And he was like, well, I paid $500 or I don't know what amount for some really expensive tickets to come back, to fly back. I really want to see her. Why are you not letting me see her? I'm like, why would you need to see her today? And he was just getting more irritated the more he was getting loud with me. And so I started to get loud with him, kind of trying to talk over him. But every time they'd have like some argument or something happen, she would tell me.
Okay.
But I think her being upset with me that night didn't really help the situation.
Johnny going to Arizona was just a lie he had weaved himself to make Yanira jealous. Before meeting Johnny, Yanira had made one last call to her friend Hinosaja, asking him to come pick her up. But Johnny arrived before that and hung up Hinosaja's calls every time he tried to reach her through Snapchat. During their search, police found hair strands in the trunk of Johnny's car that matched 98% with Yanira's DNA. This prompted them to arrest him, even though they had delayed it in the hope that he'd lead them to the dead body. The arrest was cleverly disguised as one for a suspended license, so it wouldn't raise suspicion or trigger Johnny's family if they were involved in the case.
What looks like happened was You showed up when my sergeant was here?
Yeah, I believe when he was talking to my sister.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But you know what? You can't drive, man.
Huh?
You can't drive.
Well, I wasn't driving though.
He said he saw you pull up. So, you understand that's a crime, right?
Yeah.
So, I need to take you into custody for suspended driving. You're going to go to my office, we'll fill out a ticket, and it's not that big of a deal. Okay? I need you to go ahead and put your hands behind your back. Palms together. Okay, step on up there. Watch your head when you get in. It's a big step. And if you look at that seat over there, there's a spot for your hands. So if you scoot your butt forward, there you go. A little better?
Yeah.
Let me handcuff you in. Face the wall. I'm just going to check the jail cell, make sure there's nothing in here that you'd get in trouble for. Go ahead and stand over here and I'll get these handcuffs off you.
Hey, Sarge.
Hey, so I got him 1019. He's in the holding cell. When you called, he was in my car, and I didn't want to give up the ghost yet.
Okay. Yeah, I figured. So we're not sure the status of the brother and his involvement, so we're trying to make sure that nobody knows that we're even in town yet.
Okay, so they all think that he's being arrested for suspended misdemeanor. I have his phone.
Yes, perfect.
He wanted to leave it. I'm like, I'm sorry, that's our policy. We don't let people pass stuff off once they're in custody.
Nice.
She's already been Mirandized. I just want to watch her back because we don't know if the brother-in-law is listening about it, and he should be coming home anytime. Okay, so could you head over there and watch her back?
She said something. She's gonna tell her. Sister.
Tell her it's part of the suspended driving. So we're gonna just tell her because he was suspended driving, we impounded the car for that.
Perfect.
So they're about an hour out.
Even after investigating Yanira's apartment, which was the supposed site of her murder, the police found no traces of blood, stain removers, or any signs of struggle. The dead body that had floated towards the kids also turned out not to be Yanira's. It was only during the late hours of May 12th, 2022, that an agency called LexisNexis assisted the police using their product ZX to pinpoint the coordinates of Johnny's phone from the morning of March 4th, where he had stayed for quite some time. This ultimately led them to Yanira's body after 2 months of intense searching.
Here, I got this.
That's a body.
That's a body?
That's a body.
Stop.
If you want to confirm, but that looks like.
Yeah, that looks like a dead body to me.
Oh yeah, but
it's pretty decomposed.
I'll just open it.
Throw dogs and all sorts of shit.
Pull it out, Kyle.
No, that's human. Look at the leg.
That's a leg. That's a female.
That's her fingernails.
That's her fingernails. Yeah.
Attaboy.
Hey, body camera's on.
Is it on?
Yeah, body camera's on. Oh, God, that's stinchy. Not yet, dude.
I need to let them know we found something. Because if somebody gets out.
Something, but we don't
Okay,
have.
okay.
Well, it's got fingernails. I mean, it's not a. We found a body. It's human.
Just call her and tell her we found a body. You can't give her the information about where it's at yet.
I got
Once you can, you will.
I will. I got it.
The body was found inside a sleeping bag. The legs were tied using a pillowcase, and although the body had decomposed significantly, the identity was positively confirmed through a post-mortem examination. Johnny, aka Juan Gastelum, was charged with second-degree murder and second-degree rape, to which he pleaded not guilty. He has remained in jail on $1 million bail. His trial has been delayed numerous times due to the defense, and the family is still seeking justice despite all the evidence being right in front of them. The next trial is now set for July of this year, which will hopefully bring the closure the family has long been waiting for.